Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are continuing, we are now another lesson. We are continuing with our analysis and we are on numbers. But for now, we're going to complete the analysis that we left in previous lesson. I want you to look at this one. We had already done this, just a recap, and we say هذه مدرستي, and we say this is مبتدا and خبر وهو مضاف إليه. Yeah, this is مضاف إليه, and we could hear قرية من مسجد. We say this is مبتدا خبر, or this one min. We will learn about this concept min al-masjid. Why mina? And if we're referring to this from, we know from is min. And why mina is from? Because this sukun and this al-masjid starts with a sukun word lam, and we know that two sukuns cannot start a sentence. This is the rule. So la yataqaw saknain, we don't, two sukuns cannot follow each other. So we have to bring a fatwa here to say min al-masjid. And this mean remains jarun and masjid majrurun. Here madrasatun, this is mubtada, and khabarun madrasatun, the school, isku kabiratun na'at. So we've got nat or manut, but this is khabar isun as well, and this is mubtada. We said laha, we said this is a lam for, which is jarun, which is jarun, and laha is more majrurun, shub jumla khabar muqaddam. This is a forwarded khabar. Remember, khabar is supposed to start to come after mubtada, but here we see a mubtada coming, and we see a khabarun coming first when we say it is khabarun muqaddam, comes first. So, and the mubtada here in this case we've got mudaf mudaf. Why? Because we said numbers, they carry mudaf, the adad is mudaf, and maudud is mudaf ilay. So, and with this mubtada now, we call it mu'akhir. Mu'akhirun means delayed mubtada. So now delayed. Here we said is brought forward. We can say earlier. In this one is delayed. So take note of this, delayed mu'akhirun. In muqaddam, it comes first. Right, let's continue with this analysis. Abwabuha maftuha al-ana. Its doors now are open now. So let's have an analysis of this abwabuha. Abwabuha is the mubtada, and look at this ha. This is an attached attached pronoun, and it's mudaf ilay. Why? Because abwabu is mudaf and ha is mudaf ilay, but all the same, all this is mubtada. Then maftuha, this is khabarun. See why it's feminine? Because we do have abwabu is feminine, jamukuli jamu mu'annath. So when it's highly ugly, not human, and it's jamu, it becomes mu'annath. So the khabarun here, or the describing, yes, becomes mu'annath as well. So al-ana is a zaruf of time, zaruf zaman. So it's a zaruf of time. It's an adverb of time. في المدرسة فصول كثيرة. So you've got في, we say جار ومجرور شوف جملة خبر مقدم. Why? Because we said any time when a jarun majrun starts a sentence, for example, like here man is jarun, and when it starts here, jarun starts a sentence, it becomes khabar muqaddam. So we say this is khabar muqaddam shub jumla. Shub jumla just means it's a short, just a short sentence. So shub jumla is just a short sentence that begins a sentence. Is khabar. So it's khabar jar majrurun, shub jumla khabar muqaddam. Fusul, it becomes mubtada muakhir. Remember we said if mubtada comes after khabar, we said it's mubtada muakhirun. It's late, delayed mubtada. Kathirun becomes not. So we are going to be doing this all the time. Hada fusuluna, other fusuluna, this is mubtada. And this is fusulu, is khabar wa huwa mudaf and na mudaf ilay. Wa is harf ataf, so it's just a conjunction, harf ataf. Huwa is mubtada. Fusulun is khabarun and wasihun is not. So this is how you are going to be doing the grammatical analysis all the time. If I ask you to give me a grammatical analysis of a sentence, you are going to give me this. We are going to keep on repeating it. Even in book 2, we are going to be looking at the grammatical analysis of sentences. And you should be able to pick up them. All right. Let us go back to our book. We want to see some of the concepts that we learned there, if we can apply them in the book. Remember, we left after completing that chapter, so we are starting another lesson, which is Dars Tamani Atamina Ashara, which is 18th lesson. So we are going to be looking at some of the concepts that we learned earlier on. The conversation between the teacher and Muhammad says, Kam ahan laka ya Muhammad. Kam ahan laka. Look at kam ahan. Kam, which is how many brothers. So kam ahan laka. Look at this ahun. It's become ahan. Remember when we studied earlier on, we said a noun can be in 3 cases, can be marfu'un, it can be mansubun, it can be majrurun. But in this case, we also highlighted that the sign for majrurun is kasra, we highlighted the sign for marfu'un is dhamma, and the sign for mansubun is fatha. And this one is in fatha. So we call this is in mansubun case. This is one of the reasons a noun can be in mansubun case. In actual, we call this tamiz, but we are going to learn this inshallah. So kam akhan laka. So when you want to ask how many brothers you have, the noun that follows kam always come in mansubun case, and you put this. And it is in form in singular form and in mansubun case. We call this tamiz. It doesn't change. It remains like this. It's tamiz, it's mansubun, singular, and yes, it's singular and mansubun. So how many brothers do you have, O Muhammad? Li akhun wahidun. Li akhun wahidun. Look, li I have akhun. This is one brother. Akhun wahidun. We learned about numbers. Wahidun is one. So we said earlier on, we said the concept that applies for numbers 1 and 2, we said they are like nat and manut. So this is the nat, wahidun and manut ahun. They counted, we said maudud, the number is adadun. So take note of this, li ahun wahidun. They are the same, nat or manut. I've got one brother. Wakam akhtan laka. Kam ukhtan laka. How many sisters do you have? Wali ukhtan. Akhtan. So look at this. Ukhtan, we said this alif is a sign of Mutanna. So he has two sisters. He has two sisters. Why we can say Uhtani Itnatan. But no, this is just a nat which describes the number. And they counted Maudud. Like just here, this is the nat count which describes the Maudud. So we can say Uhtan, which means two. Kam ajalatan lidirajatin ya Hamid. Kam ajalatan. So kam ajalatan, how many wheels does the bicycle have? How many wheels for the motorbike? Daraja is a motorbike or bicycle. Be bicycle or yes. How many tires? So ajalatan is singular. Mansubun, the alamatu, nasbin, be fat. So you look at the sign here. It's mansubun case because of kam. Any noun that comes after kam is singular and mansubun case. We call this tamiz. Okay. Laha ajalatan. Look, Hamid responds to say it has two. It has two. Laha. So it has two wheels. Ajalatan. This alif is a sign of mutanna. And why ha? Because ajala is feminine. So we use this ha as the pronoun. We cannot say who because this is feminine. Kam idan fi sanati ya Zakaria. So kam idan. So id is kam idan. So this Eid is a festival, is it? Yes. So he asks how many festivals do you have in a year? Sanat is a year. So sanat, year. So if I ask you to give me a grammatical analysis of this sentence, what do you say? If I'm to ask you, you say this is kam idan. We say this is mubtada idan, and we say it's in mansubun. Why? Because kam, when kam comes, it makes the noun mansubun in singular. Fi, we say it's jarun, sanatin, majrurun. So we say ja wa majrurun. Yes, just want to hear this part, ja wa majrurun. Okay, fi sanati idan, idan, yes, fi sanati idan. If you are asked to give the analysis, you say fi. We said any sentence that begins with fi is a jar wa majrurun. It becomes what? Habara muqaddam. So it becomes jar wa majrurun shub jumla habara muqaddam, and idan becomes mubtada muakhir, mubtada muakhir. So idan, we do have the sign here of alif, which we said is a sign of mutanna. So take note, we have two Eid in the year. Huma Eid Fitr, Eid Fitr. We have Eid Fitr. We know this, the Eid that we have for breaking Ramadan fast, and wa Eid Adha, so Eid Adha. So we know this Eid. So this Idan is now being referred to these two Eid al-Fitr, Eid Fitr, and Eid Adha. So these are the two Eid. So that says Ibrahim, ya Ibrahim, abuka tajirun kabirun, kam mutajiran indahu. Kam tajiran indahu. How many businesses does he have? So he starts to say, "Oh Ibrahim, your father is a big businessman. It's a big businessman. So how many? How many? So Kam is how many businesses he has in the who. In the is to have in the who he have. So it's referring to huwa abuka. So Kam mutajiran. Remember, kam mutajiran is mansubun in this case. Why? Because kam, any noun that comes after kam becomes mansubun alamatu nasbin bi fata. You look at this fata as the sign for nasbin. Right. So he says, how many business do you have? He says, indahu mutajirani kabiran. He has two big businesses. So this is, we say this is Nat wa Manut, and we also have the added Madud in this. Because why? Mutajiran is referring to two. The sign is Alif, which is Alif Mutana for Mu'annat, for Mudakar, because Tajirun, this is masculine, so that's why we've got Kabiran here. Is also masculine Mutana. So take note of the signs of the numbers. Here we're looking at the sign of second, which is Mutana, Juo, which is Alif. Kam nafidatan fi hurufatik ya Ismail. So kam nafidatan. Nafidatan is the windows. So if you want to say how many windows you have, you say kam nafidatan. Remember, any in the noun that comes after kam is tamiz. It's always mansubun, and also the alamatu nasbin is fata. So it says how many windows in hurufatika. Hurufatika. This hurufatika is mudaf or mudaf ilay. Why hurufat is the room. Hurufa. You see, if you write hurufa, is attached to the kaf. When a noun is attached to a damir, becomes mudaf ilay. So hurufati, remember, fi is coming here, and so we say fi is jarin, or hurufati is wamajururun, wa huwa mudaf, and kaf mudaf ilay. Fi is in majrurun because mudaf ilay is always be kasra. So this is how it is. Then ya Ismail, this is calling. So how many windows do we have? Fiha nafidatan. So it has two windows. Why are we saying two? Because we've got a sign of alif mutanna here. Nafidatan. This is mutanna mu'annat, which is the sign is alif mutanna. Liman hadan daftaran. Whose two books are these? So we say liman hadan daftaran. Whose books? Liman. Who? Man and min are two different words. Min means from. Man means who. So when you say liman, so for who are these books, two books for? So he says umaliyu. Umali. So Uma is referring to the two books. Li is referring to the speaker. Li for me. That's how it is. And let's look at this one. You say the Darsu says Liman hatan limstaratan. So let's look at the difference. Hatan, and before that he said hadan. Hadan is for jewel, for ismu ishara hadha limudhakar. So you say hadha, hadhani, haulai. And here we have hatani, we have hadihi, hatani, and haulai. If it is akli, but if it is hail akli, you say hatani, you say hadihi, hatani, hadihi. We learned about that in previous lesson. So liman hatani musaratani, which is the ruler, whose ruler, these two rulers are this. So if you are referring to feminine, you refer with hatani. So Mr. Hatani, which is two rulers. So Humali, so he says this is mine. So this is it. We can also look at the tamarin, which are the exercises. Let's look at some of the concepts that we learn. And these are the questions. Kam kalaman indaka. Kam kalaman indaka. How many pens? How many pens do you have? So when there are two, you say kalaman, or when there is one, it's kalamun wahidun. And when there are two, kalaman, and when there are three, what do we say? Talat, we said, we have learned this one, we said talat tata aklam. Talata ta aklam. So we come kitaban indak. Ajib and Asila. So we are going to answer these questions. How many books do you have? This kaf is referring to you. Kitaban indaka. How many books do you have? And how do you answer? We learned in previous lesson on how we do. We have already learned about numbers, how we do numbers, and we've already seen that in the passage, how we go about with numbers. So this exercise is asking you to exercise your understanding in numbers, your understanding of answering with numbers. Kam saburatan fi fuslukum. How many boards, writing boards, subura? Kam riyalan indaka al-ana yaliyun. How many riyalun? Riyalun, this money, riyalun, from Saudi riyalun. Kam ukhtan laka ya aliyun. How many sisters do you have, O aliyun? Kam umman laka ya Amina. So kam amun, these are uncles. How many uncles do you have? Kam sadikan, these are friends. Kam Taliban, Jadidan. You see how this is Tamis and this is not Manut. So how many new students do you have in your class? Fi faslikum. Kam masjidan fi ziyaratuk ya Zakaria. So kam masjidan, how many masjids do you have in your village or Zakaria? So we need to answer all these questions using the way we understand numbers. If we are in the way we understand how to use dual, mutana, how to use when the number is 3 and above. Ikra waktub, and you read and write. This is a practice to read and write. Halid lahu ibnan wa bintan. So Halid have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Remember, if we put alif a nun, this is alif mutanna, it refers to two. Ibnan, which is alif mutanna, refers to two. So it wants to ask you your understanding of numbers in reference to the signs that they are given. So we are doing this duo mutanna, and the sign of mutanna is alif, and we put a nun at the end. So whenever you see a noun with an alif plus nun after its original word, like hurufa, then you say hurufatan, you know it's two. And if you want to describe the noun, you also use the nat that is called mutana, like kabiratan, following the principle of nat or manut, which means it has to be the same in gender and the same in number. So I know you are going to be able to master this and inshallah use it in the following lessons. So this is the same. Let's look at this. So you're going to read and write in your books, all this up to 10. اقرأ المثال الآتية ثم ضع في فراغ في مجال تمييزا كم وضرب آخره. So I mentioned come, that come is tamiz. Tamiz means the noun that comes is not changed, it's in form of mansubun and singular, and this is tamiz. So the mubtada that comes after come is always tamiz. So let's look at this. Kam ukhtan, kam kalaman, kam musayaratan. So this sayaratan, kalaman, ukhtan, this singular mansubun case because of fata is what we are referring as tamiz. So I want you to complete this and also put the sign at the end to show that you understand that the word, the noun that comes, which is mubtada, comes after kam, carries the mansubun case, which is got a sign of fata. So I want you to go through all that and complete. How will mubtada في كل من جملة الآتية إلى مبتنى. So the same here, we are going to change every here, for example, هذا كتاب, هذان كتابان. So you kitaban, you see the alif mtana coming here, and hadani also coming to play. So you do have this, we learned about this concept, hada kalamun, and what do we say kalamun? Kalamani, but what do we say? Hada, hadani, kalaman. So take note of that, and also when it's feminine, also take note to use hadihi and hatani, sayaratani, hatani, mustaratani. So I want you to go through all these words, inshallah, and you can manage to fill in and use the appropriate ismu ishara in its number. Ikra al-kalimat al-atiya wa kutubuha ma'a dabta awakhiraha. So we are going to do the same here. Kitaban, we are going to read all these words and put the ending of it, or the case ending of it. Is it kaliban, maktaban? So we are going to read, just reading. Komisan, akhawan, mindilan, mustaratan, ukhtan, muratan. So Kaliban is the dog, two dogs. Maktaban, two libraries. Komisan, two sheds. Akhwan, two brothers. Mindilan, two handkerchiefs. Mistaratan is two rulers. Ukhtan, two sisters. Muratan, two women. So Tan Kalimat, we are going to put Mtana for this one. Hope it's not going to be difficult for you because we've learned that sayarat, sayaratani, and just add alif and nun, because you know this it is mutana, and we put alif and nun to show that. So we are going to put the all these words into mutana. I hope you're going to make it, and it's going to be very easy. Come, and these are the new words that we are going to end here. Come, we already said how. It refers to how much or how many. This come. Then al-Eid, we said Eid. Al-Hayu, this is the neighbor. Al-Hayau, neighbors. Raka, the kneeling. Raka, Rakaatu, and Mistaratun, this is the ruler. Masatiru, these are rulers. Arijalun, Riyalun, these are money used in Saudi. Riyalan, and Ajalat, Al-Ajala, Al-Ajalatu, these are wheels, and Ajalatun, wheels. So to this end, we've come to the end of this lesson. I hope you managed to follow along and understand, and to not forget to revise all the concepts that we've highlighted in this lesson. And we are going to bring more, inshallah, and let's meet in the next class. Jazakallahu khairan. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.